So we got a good amount of rain yesterday, late day, about a quarter to a half an inch. It was a nice soaking rainfall. But look what's coming tomorrow with the system coming in on Wednesday. We are talking 2 to 3 inches of rain widespread. There could be some localized amounts that get closer to 4. So that is a lot of rain in a short period of time. I know we are in a drought right now, but when you get that much rain that quickly and the ground is partially frozen, there may be some street flooding. So it is going to be a soaking wet day here on Wednesday. And in addition to the rain, we're going to have strong winds that may gust over 50 miles per hour. So let me just break down the timing for you. This is again for Wednesday. It's our impact day. The morning drive, there'll be some moderate rain. The winds are just starting to pick up, but by midday, the rain is turning heavier. The winds are really ramping up, and it's that evening drive tomorrow that could feature downpours, could even be some thunder, and winds will be gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour tomorrow night. This all starts to move out. The rain tapers and the winds begin to die down. So this is quite a dynamic storm system coming our way with a feed of moisture here from the Pacific. Tropical moisture is going to feed up along this frontal boundary and surge right on up into our area tomorrow. Out ahead of it today, kind of a break. There's our storm that brought us a quarter to a half an inch of rain over the past 24 hours. As it shifts out, we've got this northeasterly wind just kind of draining down some chillier air behind it. And there's a lot of clouds. These are going to be tough to break today. So I think we stay overcast and kind of dreary. And it is damp this morning. There is some drizzle out there. Radar not doing the best job on picking it up, but it is out there. And with temperatures near and below freezing here to the north and west where you see the blue, please be careful. It could be a little icy this morning if it hasn't been treated. We're just 31 in Worcester, 29 in Lawrence, Portsmouth 28, barely above freezing in Boston this morning. Temperatures are going to struggle with the clouds, that northeasterly wind. We're talking mid to upper 30s, areas from Boston north and west, and then we'll manage the mid, even some upper 40s by the time you get down toward Cape Cod. But drying out with that drizzle kind of tapering off this morning. We're left with a lot of clouds through the afternoon, but it's mainly dry. I forward here to about 9 o'clock tonight. Notice most of us in the 30s, some 40s to the south, but during the overnight hours, rain is going to come in. And look at these temperatures. By 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, it's up around 50 degrees. So the temperatures will rise overnight as the rain moves in. And tomorrow, our impact day, it is going to be heavy rain, windy, warm, maybe a late day thunderstorm as the temperatures climb here. We've got that rain really filling in around midday tomorrow. Evening drive, soaking wet. You can see that fine line. This is where we may get a thunderstorm toward evening. And then this is all shifting out after midnight, and it will be dry on Thursday. High wind watch too for those gusts, 50 to 60 miles per hour coming up from the south. You can see how strong the winds are late tomorrow. They shift around to the west as we get into Thursday, and that brings in colder air. So reality back, we're in the low 40s on Thursday with some sunshine, kind of blustery. Winds settle down only in the 30s Friday and Saturday. So really feeling more like December, but being in the 60s tomorrow.
Yeah.
Windswept soaking rain, that evening drive tomorrow, gonna be a mess.
All right. Well, we are watching the morning drive, maybe the
Good Tuesday to you. Watch your step out the door this morning. North and west of Boston, it's near and below freezing. There are some areas of drizzle, some fog, could be icy out this way. It's going to be just kind of a raw, chilly day with a lot of clouds. Temperatures struggle to get out of the 30s north of the Pike. There'll be some 40s down toward the south coast and the Cape. Tomorrow, we've got a soaking wet day coming in. It is going to be raining heavily at times, especially midday right through the evening with downpours, even a rumble of thunder. 2 to 3 inches of rain could lead to street flooding, and the winds are going to gust 50 to 60 miles per hour. Bring in the warmth. We're in the low 60s tomorrow, and then we'll dry things out and cool them down back into the 30s by the end of the week. And a good Tuesday to you. A little damp out there this morning. You can see we picked up about a quarter to a half an inch of rain in the past 24 hours. This is certainly helpful given the drought situation. More than 80% of the state right now still dealing with some level of drought, and there is more rain on the way. In fact, Wednesday is going to be soaking wet. We're talking 2 to 3 inches of rain widespread, and there could be some localized amounts that come in closer to 4 inches. So this is a little too much too quickly. early. Keep in mind the ground is still partially frozen. It is December after all, and that could lead to some street flooding as a lot of that water runs off. So soaking wet here coming up on Wednesday with all that rain. In addition, we are going to have strong winds, which will gust 50 to 60 miles per hour. So certainly an impact weather day coming up on Wednesday. There's a tropical connection with this feed of moisture coming from the Pacific, crossing into the Gulf and then surging right up along this frontal boundary. And this is all working up the coast tonight, and it'll be here tomorrow morning and continues throughout the day. So we are talking about the potential, yes, for that street flooding. And with this southerly wind gusting 50 to 60 miles per hour, it's also transporting in some really mild air. So the temperatures are going to soar up into the lower 60s coming up tomorrow. Winds, they will gust 50 to 60, and that is enough for a high wind watch here in easternmost Massachusetts. The wind's likely not as strong as you get into Worcester County and out in western Massachusetts, but everybody going to be dealing with some level of wind tomorrow. The wind direction today is a little different. In fact, it's coming out of the northeast. This area of low pressure offshore is what brought us our rain over the past 24 hours. With it to our east, high pressure to the north, it's a light northerly wind that's just kind of draining down some colder air from northern New England. So look at our highs today. We're struggling to get to the freezing mark here in Nashua, holding close to freezing north of Route 2 right through the day. Meanwhile, it's closer to 50 down on the Cape and the islands. So quite a range in temperatures today, but we're all kind of stuck underneath the clouds. And there will be some of those icy spots this morning with some drizzle to the north, especially. Watch out for that. Otherwise, a lot of clouds, nothing more than a spot of drizzle today. And we're going to see that moisture kind of start picking up as we get into tonight. Now, I've overlaid the temperatures on here at 9 o'clock this evening. Notice how we're still in the 30s and 40s, but by tomorrow morning, we're jumping up closer to 50 degrees. So as the rain comes in overnight and that wind picks up out of the south, the temperatures are going to rise overnight. So much milder out the door on Wednesday morning, but it is an impact weather day as we will have the rain picking up in intensity, the wind, the warmth, a late day thunderstorm too, not out of the question with this dynamic storm system. So notice how the intensity picks up around midday. So your morning commute is wet, but that rain is heavier around lunchtime, and it keeps coming here through the afternoon. And you see this line right over Boston during the evening commute. This is when we could get some thunderstorms in easternmost Massachusetts. So you can see that heavy rain shifting offshore as we get closer to midnight, and we'll start to dry things out. But we are talking about not only the heavy rain, but the strong winds. You can see these gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Once the rain pushes offshore, the winds shift around to the west, and they start bringing in that drier air. The temperatures will drop. It's a blustery, colder day on Thursday, but we get back some sunshine in the low 40s, only in the 30s Friday, Saturday, but with sunshine and lighter winds. Temperatures start to moderate next week, and we could get back into some rain here